said it yourself, bitch. We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Because it's all part of the plan.
I'll be back.
Are you not entertained?
You talking to me?
It's time.
Here's Johnny.
For the Diluted Film Dive podcast.
Drink your milkshake.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
I'll have what she's having.
And now, here's your host, Jess and Uncle Gary.
Get down.
Hello and welcome to our second episode of season 2. And I'm your host, Jazz. And over here we've got Uncle Gary.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back, Karn. How have you been, man?
I've been pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I've been trying to watch a lot of movies. I feel like there was a good run there where I think we watched like Doctor Strange, The Northman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then the Nick Cage movie.
I haven't seen that yet. The new Nick Cage. No, I watched Bob's Burgers, the movie though, the other day. That was pretty good. I like that.
I feel like I always felt like TV shows like this, like a series finale, should simultaneously film on television and in theaters. Like imagine watching like the Breaking Bad finale in theaters or watching Game of Thrones, especially. Let's say, you know what I mean, like one of those. So I just feel like it's easy money, really. Like me and you, we're gonna have the channel, let's say, on our cable or satellite box, but I think we'd still volunteer to pay the $20 and go watch it. But
that's true.
But that's why I think Bob's Burgers being a 90-minute episode is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was so much fun. But enough of what we've watched. What we're going to be focusing on this episode is Everything Everywhere All at Once. And before we go into it, I am going to just go over a quick few, not announcements, but just, a few announcements. So basically, our podcast is now available on YouTube. Well, only from season 2 onwards, I assume so. We hope to keep that going. So our first episode, The Northman, is available on YouTube right now. The link will be on our Instagram or on the link in the bio. Special thanks to AB Cinema, who
Whoop whoop! Love you, AB Cinema.
Who is I want to say unofficially our third member, only because I feel like I forced it upon him to. He's our third leg. Because he volunteered to do the first episode to help edit to make it onto YouTube. In my opinion, it's pretty good. But I'm gonna try make sure we avoid spoilers on there and so just to make it a bit more smoother. Like he's already done a great job, but I just want to make sure going forward that we don't put any clips of spoilers of the film and whatnot. And actually, let's just jump right into it. And the people who haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, luckily, hopefully, we'll get ABC Cinema to put in a trailer right now.
Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
Now, you may only see a pile of receipts, but I see a story. I can see where this story is going. It does not look good.
What's happening?
Evelyn, I'm not your husband. I'm another version of him from another universe. I'm here because we need your help.
Very busy today. No time to help you.
Across the multiverse, I've seen thousands of Evelyns. We can access all their memories, their emotions, even evil, spreading throughout the many verses. And you may be our only chance of stopping it.
Don't make me fight you. I am really good.
I don't believe you.
Wow, that looks really good.
He's waiting in the wings.
The universe
He speaks of senseless things.
is so much bigger
Script is you and
than you realize.
Of all the places I could be, I just want to be here with you.
Remember our mission. Consider the fate of every single world of our infinite multiverse.
There is no way I am the Evelyn you are looking for.
Every rejection, every disappointment has led you here. To this moment. Don't let anything distract you from it.
And so, yeah, moving on. So, the film is directed by so-called the Daniels, which they're not brothers, but they just share the same name. They seem like they're good buddies. Dan Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, or Scheinert. I don't know how to pronounce that. I feel very, very ignorant now. But they have done a couple of, a bunch of films together, and I've only seen one of them, unfortunately, which is The Swiss Army Man.
That's a good movie. That's the only movie I knew that this director had, actually.
And knowing that I watched Swiss Army Man and this film was coming out before we watched this film, I was like, okay, this I know it already. If they make all the films like Swiss Army Man, it's gonna be a fun film, or like
It's
wild, different. It'll be definitely
different
out there. And yeah, Swiss Army Man, definitely recommend checking that out. I don't know what the case was in terms of making this film. Maybe you know about it. But I may have misheard, of course, but I heard that they were apparently going to make a Marvel film, but then they were like, nah, we're going to make our own multiverse film. Or is it because I'm just thinking that because the Russell brothers produced this and I'm just mixing up my news?
I think you might be mixing up. The only thing I heard about this movie was originally that it was supposed to be Jackie Chan starring.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a male lead. I didn't realize, did the Russos produce this film?
No, this is why I'm fucking worried now. What the fuck if I just made that up? I'm sure they did. I'm sure the Russell brothers have. They helped produce it. Like they just got a name on it, really. That doesn't really mean shit anyway nowadays, does it? They just put their names on it.
I don't think.
I think they did. I want to say, did Russell brothers everything everywhere? This is what we do. We do our research while we're recording because.
Okay, you're right. It's produced by them. Sorry.
It is, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So they did the producing on that. So I must have fucked up with my thought. Like I'm pretty sure they wanted. I had heard a rumor, or might have fucked up with my sources, that they were asked to do a. To make a multiverse
now
kind
I
of
know
film.
what you're saying. I think
What?
this was might have been in response to the whole Scarlett Johansson thing and how they treated her. Excuse me, when they released her movie and how they tried to like flee throughout some money that she was deserved, essentially.
Okay.
Remember how they rushed Black Widow into they were simultaneously released within Disney Plus and theaters when it was supposed to be like a 45-day release window at least.
Yeah.
So she got back in money. And she sued Disney because, like, you essentially, like, Disney Plus wasn't in the contract that she signed before Avengers, or
okay.
no, let's say Avengers 2. Let's say because I think the only reason they made the Black Widow movie was because Scarlett Jo had it's like still in their contract, so they got kind of screwed. That's why they're not doing those huge 5, 6, 7 movie contracts anymore, unless they know the person's gonna be essential.
Okay.
So yeah, going to the movie. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's go back. Let's see who started. It's starting Michelle Yeoh,
and let's try get this.
Ki Hui Kwan. Ki Hui Kwan. Ki Hui Kwan.
Ke Hui Kwan. You got the last two right then.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it also has Stephanie Sue.
Yes.
And James Hong. It's a pretty good cast, and apparently
and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, of course, yeah. How did I forget that? How dare I? And also, apparently, the character for Stephanie Sue was a first. It was going to be who was going to be cast was that girl from Shang-Chi. You know the girl in that.
Aquafina. I read. Yeah.
Yeah, she was apparently going to be in that at first. That would have been quite a different role, but obviously, we've already seen the film and we know how well she is in this film. Stephanie Sue, so it's kind of hard to imagine it's being someone else now after the fact, of course.
This is one of those films, like, I think every great movie, there's the main character, but all the side characters and supporting cast, they all provide such a vital role to the movie. And, like, Jamie Lee Curtis is the IRS, the tax person, for U.S. British viewers, but essentially like an IRS person who's looking into the laundromat that Michelle Yeoh and Ke Hui Kwan's character owns. The daughter is like she plays an integral part to the movie, and she was a great casting. I thought she played it like.
I think the best way to put it, this film, without because we are struggling to say things without spoiling the actual film. So I've got it all narrowed down to a bit of the theme of the film. So essentially, the film is about the toxic cycle of generational trauma and how it's passed down, and what we are still able to kind of of course, it's just questioning that can you stop that from being passed down and without having to please other people, like the upper generation behind you, and pave the way for your offspring or whatever, so it's different and not having to please other people and whatnot. That's essentially what it's kind of about. Obviously, there's crazy shit that's on top of that layered to like a crazy amount of things that the whole. It's like basically The Matrix, but funny and a lot of fun.
Oh my god, I was laughing like every 4 minutes, like every few minutes. I'm just like laughing or die because it's just like there's too many jokes. But like, keep going. I'm sorry.
No, you carry on because like it was hilarious. Like
I thoroughly I enjoyed. So they're exploring the multiverse in this film. And so essentially, when you are going, they don't have like a machine, they don't have a box like that one movie we talked about a few years ago, or it's not like the Avengers where they have like a fucking time wristwatch or anything like that. Essentially, what you have to do is to do like 2 or 3 random things at once. So you have to like electrocute yourself. Excuse me. You have to like punch yourself in the balls and then like step on a cat all at the same time, and then you eventually transform to like a random universe. So it's like
a random combination of things.
And so while she's doing this, she obviously has like Michelle Yeoh's character has her husband in her ear, telling like, "Oh, you gotta do this one, just because like it's hard for them to figure out which one to go to. So there's like trial and error with it. And so as you're watching the movie, you're seeing them go through all these ridiculous like different multiverse areas. So I thought like it was a silly way of doing it, but it was like, you know what, that kind of makes sense. Like, you know what I mean?
It's stupid things. Like I swear at one point, like, didn't he have to do like the worst? I don't want to spoil it. Actually, there's one bit where he has to do something that we all dread of like kind of paper cutting yourself.
Oh yes,
and he has to do it himself. And it's the gag is that like, and he even says it. He's when he's explaining himself like, on the obviously he's got someone in his ear. He's like explaining to us. He's like, it's more difficult to do it when you really want to do it yourself. And it just it's funny.
It was cool. I didn't search one thing like because they go through so many universes, and there's so many deleted scenes where like some universes were cut. Like there's one universe where like at one point the daughter and the mom are traveling through the multiverse,
mm-hmm.
and they both become rocks. Like you know what I mean? There's just like ridiculous stuff like that, or they go to a Raccoon Tui universe where it's
that's it. Like let's not do too many spoilers.
Okay, sorry.
It's not. There's not really spoilers, but like, of course, there's like little universes that you kind of see in the trailer anyway. So it's not a spoiler, but I just didn't want to go too deep into that. But there is one part of that film that sticks out, like a sore thumb. Is like there's this one clip, and it's like it's just perfection in terms of editing when she's like trying to go through each universe within a moment, and she just kind of like tilts her head to the like 3 notches, and in them notches of her turning her head, she's in different universes, and it's just like it's just so cool to see, and that like of course the whole film stands out, but that clip alone was just like I loved it.
I think the further the imagery that Carden's trying to provide is that as she's going between the multiverses, let's say, there's like 3 of them she's going through. Imagine like a broken glass or a broken mirror. So as she's crossing the crack, that's a new multiverse, right? I'm pretty sure there's a poster of that. Just her kind of like going like this, right? But like, yeah, it's yeah. I think you probably saw this too. 9 people, including the 2 directors, and most of the visual effects for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the 5 main people who did the visual effects, so not including the 2 directors, don't actually have any like formal training. They did it all through like online free modules and then like they all learn from each other because like I say, like
that's it.
Like I think they all did a different module at once, mastered that, and then kind of moved around to like show the other person how to do it, kind of situation.
That's pretty. That's a community right there. That's how you do it. That's how communities work.
So, like, you know what? I read a lot of feel-good stuff about this movie. Like, obviously, it's the highest A24 gross. It's highest grossing A24 movie. Excuse me, film. I was reading that Ke-ho Kwan. He obviously we recognize him from the Goonies and Indiana Jones, but like since then he's kind of been.
Whoa! Hold up! I am having a bit of a brain fart. That's the kid from the Goonies, and that's the kid from. Are you kidding me?
You're not being racist. You're not being racist. No. I think it's like, racist.
I'm not even that. I didn't even realize it would be that person.
Let me explain, because like he literally after that he went to school. I think he did like. Oh, he did. I think Pretty in Pink. He was the dong whatever like the. But he did after that he did a lot of assistant directing, a lot of like martial arts coordination. So like he did martial arts coordination for that Jet Li movie, the multiverse Jet Li movie where he's fighting himself. Yeah.
I know you guys who are listening to this right now don't have a visual representation of what I'm feeling right now. My face is melting off my face because as soon as I hear his voice now in my head, I'm
understand?
Like, holy shit, he sounds exactly the same as when he was a kid. And now I'm like, fucking hell. How did I feel stupid.
So so he obviously went to the background stuff. And I guess when he obviously in the early 90s, early 2000s, for the most part, if you're Asian, you have to have some sort of martial arts skill or be a beautiful woman.
Oh yeah. That's what Hollywood wants.
That's all they wanted, right? Yeah, like I'm like obviously. So what's funny? He watched like when Crazy Rich Asians came out. He saw that and he signed with an agent. He's like, it's now like I want to be I want to see what they're like. I want to be what they're being and like act and like be able to do all these like zany characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when he actually met some of the guys, like some of these younger Asian actors who are making it big, they were all saying like, "You're my inspiration." Because you were like that's they're around our age, so obviously brightened up when you thought you knew he was from the Goonies and he was from Indiana Jones. Imagine actually being from East Asia, right? And so it's funny because he was like, "Whoa, that's funny because you were my inspiration for coming back." So you know what I mean? It's like it's very wholesome in that sense where there's this like a role reversal there.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful little note there. Yeah.
So, Karn, I figured, you know what? That's like this is my 10 out of 10 movie.
Yeah.
Like my first of the year. I walked in not knowing anything. I came out knowing less, right? But as you think about it, you're like, it's just. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was perfectly cast. The editing's great. The visual effects weren't too much. I watched it in theaters, but I do think the same experience can happen at home. Like it's like Top Gun, or you know what I mean. Where you need to watch it in the theater. What do you think?
I really, really loved it. Like I'm like trying to force people to come with me to watch it again, but I'm running out of people. Running out of people that are willing to want to watch a film that they don't know anything about, and obviously they have me screaming in their ear saying that it's a great film, just come watch it with me. But of course that only works so many times where in the past I've failed them. But now it's like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. I've been telling people, oh, this film's really good, come watch it with me, and then they watch it with me and then like, okay, it wasn't that great as you hyped it. But now it's actually a film that I know is fucking brilliant, and they're like, do I trust this guy? Now I'm gonna get eaten by the big bad wolf. All right, and I'm starting to think: is The Boy Who Cried Wolf a thing in Canada?
Yes, no, that's a reference.
Okay,
I get that reference. All right.
No, because sometimes you guys, like you Americans and you Canadians, you fucking make up your own shit. Like I don't know, horse riding is horseback riding because you need to know where to sit. You know, it's weird. Or am I being a stereotyping little cunt? Is that me?
Yes. So luckily, I think, guys, we're gonna be wrapping up this episode. But don't fret because we're doing another multiverse episode very soon.
Yeah, it'll be coming out shortly after this. If you're listening to this right now, just count to anywhere between count anywhere between 5 to 20, whether that be seconds or days. You'll never know. But essentially, before we let you go, quick announcements. You know the drill. Our Instagram, Diluted Film Dive. Everything we post on there, news, the podcast news, news in general for films, memes. We got memes, and occasionally we do giveaways, and everyone's a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. And so that's all from me. I've been your host, Jazz, and over to you, Gary.
I had a dinner with some of my friends, and they were all loving all the material you've been sending out. So great job with all the IG posts. We're gonna be pumping up more episodes because this week I have a different shift, and hopefully Karn and I can get a few days where we do multiple episodes, and so we consistently release some, guys. I know we're a bit inconsistent, but we're like in different continents, different time zones. I mean, like it gets hard, and we got lives, playa.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's all, folks. Have a good night.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
You've been listening to Diluted Film Dive. Follow the podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Diluted Film Dive.
You gonna do something or just stand there and bleed?
Thanks for listening.